Hi there. Good Thursday morning. We're tracking severe weather from coast to coast.
More heat, new storms, and widespread flood fears. It is August 20th. This is Today. Brutal. That intense heat wave gripping much of the country far from over, with another day of record-setting triple-digit temperatures on the way.
Yes, it is very high.
Overnight, severe storms tearing across the Midwest and heading east. Millions on alert for heavy rain, high winds, and possible tornadoes. Al's got your full forecast through the weekend. Breaking overnight, economic D-Day. President Trump with a major new threat against Iran and any country that stands with them, suggesting he's in no rush to end that war, while also revealing plans to meet with North Korea's dictator, Kim Jong-un.
The fact that I get along with him, that's a good thing, not a bad thing.
We'll have the very latest in a live report from the White House. Tourist tragedy. New images from the scene of that deadly helicopter crash in Kenya. 7 people killed while on safari, including 5 Americans. Among the victims, a beloved executive from our sister company, Telemundo. Just ahead, the new tributes to them as investigators try to figure out what happened. New twist. Federal drug agents now joining the search for answers in the sudden death of Hayden Panettiere. That move coming as police visit the family home of the actress's former boyfriend who was with her on the night she died. Where the investigation stands this morning. London calling. New details on that shocking decision by Prince Harry, set to return with his family to the UK after stepping away from royal life to live in California. And just a year after saying this.
I can't see a world in which I would be bringing my wife and children back to the UK at this point.
This morning, what may have sparked the stunning move, what it means for Meghan and their 2 children, and the reaction from Harry's father, King Charles. We're live at Buckingham Palace. Those stories, plus thrilling start.
Center field, the game is over!
The Little League World Series opening with a bang. New Jersey winning its first game in dramatic fashion, a walk-off home run. The highlights straight ahead. And ray of light. She's a rising star with more than 1 billion streams, 4 Grammy nominations, and one of the biggest and best voices in music. And Ray bringing that to our plaza for a very special concert today, Thursday, August 20th, 2026.
From NBC News, this is Today with Savannah Guthrie and Craig Melton. From Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
And a very good morning to you. Welcome to Today. Thank you so much for starting your Thursday with us. It's a special Thursday, too.
It's Giving Friday, or
Yes.
Friday, as you would say. We have a concert out on our plaza. Not
Yes.
just any concert either. Ray will be here. She is one of the most powerful voices in music. She really blew up after the concert she gave last year on our city concert stage. And she is looking for an encore this morning.
We're looking forward to that. We'll get outside in just a bit.
We are following that stunning royal move as well this morning. Prince Harry and Meghan and their 2 children set for an unexpected return to live in the UK 6 years after moving to the U.S. What we are learning overnight about that decision coming up in a live report from Buckingham Palace.
First to our top story this morning, this ongoing wave of extreme summer weather. Yet another day of brutally hot temperatures and record highs are expected out west and across the south.
It has millions searching for ways to cope. A number of schools rearranging their schedules to keep students safe and out of the heat. Public libraries now being used as cooling centers in parts of North Carolina.
And another concern, severe storms, millions up and down the East Coast. Set for heavy rain and damaging winds today. Parts of the mid-Atlantic bracing for possible tornadoes. Al is back this morning. He's got his eye on all of it. We'll get to his forecast in just a moment. But first, NBC's Priscilla Thompson joins us from an absolutely sweltering Houston. Priscilla, good morning to you.
Yeah, Greg, good morning. Even this early, the air is thick and you can feel how hot it is going to get here today. Splash pads like this one will offer some relief as millions across the country are finding ways to stay cool and keep safe. This morning, extreme weather coast to coast. Over 80 million Americans sweltering under heat alerts, with the heat index as high as 115 in parts of the southeast. But other areas hit with ferocious storms. Possible tornadoes touching down in Ohio and Indiana.
It's touched down.
Heavy rain and strong winds pounding the Midwest. Floodwaters covering roads and cars. Further south, the Mississippi State campus hit with heavy wind and rain on the first day of classes. Students of all ages coping with the wild weather across the country. That extreme heat impacting back to school season. Here in Texas, officials taking extra precautions to keep students safe.
The normal time for recess is 30 minutes, or perhaps it goes down to 15 minutes to limit the time that the students are in the heat.
In Louisiana, the scorching conditions raising alarms for parents.
That's a long ride on a bus with no AC and it's 95 degrees outside.
First responders say keeping kids hydrated is key.
Get away from the sugary drinks, energy drinks, those dehydrate you even more, so it adds to the problem.
From Phoenix to Alabama, volunteers racing to help the most vulnerable. Crews in Phoenix also working to add nearly 200 miles of cool pavement, a special sealant described as sunscreen for the roads.
This grayer coating can make up to 12 degrees Fahrenheit difference at noon.
As communities nationwide find creative ways to stay cool. And experts we've spoken to say that there are two simple things that parents can do when they're sending their kids to school. One is send them in breathable, loose clothing. Know some of the older kids like to wear the hoodies and the sweatshirts all day. Today is not the day to do that. And also, if you can, send them with a refillable water bottle as a reminder to stay hydrated throughout the day. Craig?
All right, Priscilla, good tips there. Thank you, Priscilla Thompson.
All right, Al is with us this morning monitoring the heat and tracking a new threat of severe storms. Hi, Al. Good morning.
Good morning, Savannah. Good morning to all of you out there. We have right now heat advisory, heat warnings stretching from coast to coast for 83 million people, from L.A. down to Miami up to Oklahoma City. Now, we've got refreshing, cooler air up around the Great Lakes, but that's not getting south anytime soon. That jet stream stays up there, and so we are looking at heat indexes from Apalachicola, 107, 109 in Memphis, same in Miami, 104 in Orlando, Galveston. You're going to feel like 106, more of the same tomorrow, with those heat indexes making it feel anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees warmer than the air temperatures. Houston, your air temperature, 101. Look at Oklahoma City, an air temperature of 105 degrees, and no relief going into early next week. Even though temperatures are in the 90s in Valdosta, Fort Myers, Baton Rouge, they're triple-digit air temperatures for Oklahoma City, San Angelo, Corpus Christi. Those heat indexes, you up those temperatures by another 10 degrees. And then we've got severe weather going on right now from Minnesota all the way down into the mid-Atlantic states. We've got the upper Midwest, the danger of hail, wind gusts of 75 miles per hour. From New York down to Raleigh, we're talking about the risk of possible tornadoes, wind gusts of 60 miles per hour. We've got flash flood watches and warnings now for 34 million people from the Northeast all the way back down to the South. And we've got the risk of flooding, especially from New England all the way down to the Delmarva Peninsula. Rainfall rates 1 to 3 inches per hour. That's where the storm drain systems can't handle that when you get above 2 inches per hour. Locally, though, some places going to pick up another 5 inches of rain. Craig?
All right, Al, we'll come back to you in just a few moments. Meanwhile, this morning, President Trump is making new threats against Iran as the war in the Middle East now nears the 6-month mark. He's also revealing that he's been in touch with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un and plans to meet with him this year. NBC's chief White House correspondent Garrett Hake joins us with more on all of it. Garrett, good morning to you.
Hey, Craig, good morning. Yeah, President Trump's frustration with the ongoing war comes through loud and clear in the new threats he posted overnight, calling for a, quote, crushing economic operation that he suggests could end the conflict with Iran. But the president's plate also includes new concerns about the state of our own economy, with U.S. debt hitting an almost inconceivable $40 trillion, and that new outreach to a longtime foe. This morning, as the war with Iran approaches 6 months with no end in sight, President Trump suggesting he's in no hurry to resume negotiations.
Maybe at some point, but right now, I think the situation is so good.
Overnight, the president posting on social media that the U.S. will launch, quote, economic warfare and isolation on an unprecedented scale against Iran, calling it an economic D-Day. Iran's foreign minister labeling the move, quote, a diversion from America's own crisis, unprecedented debt, and surging interest costs. It comes after the news yesterday that America's national debt passed the $40 trillion mark for the first time in history. The debt has doubled in the last decade, exploding in both President Trump's first term and under President Biden, largely due to pandemic response spending. While the Trump administration says it's working to drive down the debt, it's also spending big on tax cuts and the Iran war. Yesterday, the president again calling out allies for not joining him in that fight and praising a longtime U.S. foe, North Korea. Telling reporters he's been in contact with dictator Kim Jong-un and hopes to meet with him later this year.
The fact that I get along with him, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. He has 57 very powerful nuclear weapons.
In a show of goodwill, the president ordering joint military exercises cut short with U.S. ally South Korea. Despite 3 in-person meetings between Kim and Trump during his first term, I pressed the president on why he thinks this time would be different.
Is your goal in trying to re-engage with Chairman Kim still denuclearization? And what makes you think you could be successful now when you weren't?
Well,
in the
I don't want to
first
talk
term?
about that, but I do have a good relationship with Kim Jong-un. We speak, and I think our nation and I think other nations, frankly, whether it's Japan or South Korea, they're a lot safer if I'm president than if somebody else is president.
All of this comes as the president continues to focus on his White House construction projects, including yesterday unveiling a massive new helipad on the White House South Lawn. The multi-million-dollar granite pad was designed to handle the next-generation Marine One helicopters, and it looks like a giant seal of the United States. The fate of another project could be decided today, with the Supreme Court expected to rule by week's end on whether East Wing ballroom construction can continue. Craig?
Our Chief White House correspondent Garrett Hakeforth. Garrett, thank you.
Also this morning, we are learning more about a tragic helicopter crash in Kenya. All 7 people on board died, including 5 Americans. One of those victims, a longtime television executive from our partners at Telemundo. NBC's George Solis has the story this morning. George, good morning.
Savannah, good morning to you. This tragedy has hit hard, especially here in South Florida. Jose Suarez was known as a mentor to so many in newsrooms across the country. Roger Duarte, survived by his 2 children and his wife, and whose family owns the iconic Versailles restaurant here in Little Havana, at a loss for words. This as the search for answers continues. This morning, an investigation is underway after a helicopter taking tours on safari in Kenya crashed. The pilot and 6 passengers, including 5 Americans, all killed, according to the Kenyan Aviation Authority and U.S. State Department. This video showing the search and recovery efforts amid charred debris in the mountainous terrain of East Africa. Kenya's Red Cross sharing these images showing plumes of smoke rising from the scene and part of the chopper's wreckage visible on the ground.
Having been an accident investigator for 30 some odd years, you learn not to speculate until you at least have hard data. Right now, we have very little data.
Among the Americans killed, Jose Suarez, a longtime Telemundo executive who led stations in Orlando, Tampa, and Fort Myers. In a statement, NBC Universal Chairman Cesar Conde calling Suarez a deeply respected leader and beloved friend and colleague who brought energy, humor, warmth, and a strong sense of purpose to his work. Also on board, prominent Miami restaurateur Roger Duarte.
Here at George Stone Crab, we've been in operation for over 17 years.
In a statement to NBC News, his family writing, "There are no words to express the depth of our pain." Also among the group, married South Florida couple Henry Parra and Adam Levate. Their friends telling NBC News both enjoyed traveling the world together. We reached out to their families, who declined comment. Ecuadorian intelligence official Michele Sensei Kontugi and his wife Stephanie also losing their lives. Kenyan authorities say the helicopter was flying between 2 safari conservancies when it crashed Wednesday morning.
The investigators are going to look at the debris field and anything they can learn from that, how the helicopter hit the ground. Did it hit anything before it arrived at its final impact point?
Kenyan aviation authorities tell me that they will actually be back at the crash site today to see if they can learn more about what happened. They tell me the terrain is rugged and difficult, and you actually need a chopper to get there. The preliminary report is expected in about 30 days, but the loss here, just unfathomable. Savannah?
All right, George, thank you very much.
From that helicopter crash to a deadly mid-air collision in central Pennsylvania, officials say a Pennsylvania State Police helicopter was conducting a training exercise at a small airport when a Cessna veered off course during landing and collided with the chopper. The pilot of the Cessna 150 was killed in the crash. 2 state troopers in the helicopter were hurt, but they are expected to be okay. The FAA and NTSB are investigating.
Well, we have more to get to this morning, including new developments at a closely watched trial near Boston. Lindsay Clancy is accused of killing her 3 young children, which she acknowledges. But her legal team argues she suffered from postpartum psychosis. They could call their final witness today. NBC senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett here with the details. Laura, good morning.
Savannah, good morning to you. This high-profile trial began 3 weeks ago, but the public fascination around the case only growing now as people learn more details about Lindsay Clancy's life before those killings, igniting larger conversations around postpartum mental health far beyond just this case.
This morning, with national attention building around the case of Lindsay Clancy, her supporters now planning to rally at the courthouse in Massachusetts after a key witness took the stand.
She heard a male voice instructing her to first kill her children and then to kill herself.
Clancy admits she killed her 3 young children back in 2023, but has pled not guilty to charges of first-degree murder. Her attorneys arguing she should not be held criminally responsible because she was in the throes of postpartum psychosis and poorly medicated with powerful psychiatric drugs. While prosecutors say the former labor and delivery nurse planned the murders before staging a suicide attempt that left her paralyzed.
This was a woman who acted intentionally, rationally, and swiftly to accomplish a very specific goal: to kill.
The spotlight on the case online.
I am pro-Lindsay.
Sparking renewed conversations around postpartum mental health.
It's a very unique situation where people are not there for a personality because they're supporting Lindsay Clancy or they're against Lindsay Clancy. They're there because they want people to understand how dangerous postpartum situations are and illnesses are.
In court, the jury has heard from multiple witnesses who testified Clancy was a devoted mother who loved her children and was in desperate need of help, including her former mother-in-law, who described Clancy's struggles leading up to the killings.
She was very anxious and sad. She was begging for help.
And when court resumes later today, the defense team is expected to call at least 1 or 2 more witnesses before resting its case, including an expert in postpartum psychosis, guys.
All right. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate it.
We turn now to some promising medical news that could impact tens of thousands of Americans living with melanoma, the deadliest form of skin cancer. Pharmaceutical giants Moderna and Merck say an experimental vaccine treatment has shown signs of preventing cancer from returning or spreading. The vaccine was tested in a trial of high-risk melanoma patients who'd already had surgery to remove the skin cancer. The FDA has not yet approved the vaccine. The agency will review the full data once it has been submitted.
We turn now to the Little League World Series and a dramatic ending between New Jersey and Massachusetts. The game was all tied up at 1, bottom of the 6th, when this happened.
Center field, the game is over!
Just like that, Mason Rincon with a walk-off homer to center field. He's not going to have to pay for lunch in Bayonne, New Jersey for years to come. They win it 2-1. The Little League World Series is just getting started. Nobody going home yet. It's a double elimination tournament. Usually we say you won't pay for a drink in your hometown,
right.
But, you know, they're the Little League. Yeah,
Couple years from now, he won't have to.
Won't be forgotten.
I always enjoy the Little League World Series.
I know. It's fun to watch.
You know what else I enjoy?
I enjoy it as well.
Mr.
Al Roker's
Roker.
birthday today.
Well, thank you, guys. Thank you. And in the meantime, we are watching the tropics again, the Pacific. We could see another tropical system for our friends in Hawaii. This 90E is probably going to become a tropical depression later today. If it becomes a tropical storm, it will be Mookie. So we're going to be watching that very closely. Rest of the country today, very hot and dry out west, hot and humid down through the Gulf, flooding likely in the northeast. We're going to get to your local forecast coming up in the next 30 seconds.
Oh, we're back. 7:30. Carson joins us. What a banger. Where's my husband, Ray? There's some husbands, perhaps, wives, kids. Everybody wants to see Ray out on our plaza. We're counting down to a can't-miss concert. I said it yesterday. I think she was one of my, top 5 ever.
Yeah.
And I think such a surprise last year because we didn't really know her. Carson probably did because he knows everything about music.
No, but funny, when she was here on the plaza last year, that song, Where's My Husband, had just come out the night before she was here.
Right.
And now it still averages a million streams, over a million streams a day.
Yeah, I know.
Almost a billion streams total, so it's a juggernaut of a song.
But she's not too big to come back.
No, she's opening for Bruno Mars across the river tomorrow night. So
yeah, we're excited to have Ray get out there in a little bit.
We will get outside next hour. First, though, we do have some more news to get to, including that really unexpected move for Prince Harry and his family.
Years after giving up royal duties for life in Southern California, well, now they're preparing to return to the UK, and it's expected to happen pretty soon, too. NBC's Danielle Hamamdjian is standing by Buckingham Palace for us. We can just hear the tea spilling right now. This is kind of an earthquake. Hey, Danielle.
It is absolutely an earthquake, Savannah. And up until last night, when the news broke, I think just about everybody here would have described this move as unthinkable. Yet here we are, expecting the Sussex family to become residents of the UK once again by the end of the month.
This morning, a royal U-turn. 6 years after moving to California for a new life, Harry and Meghan, along with their 2 children, are coming back to the UK. The move, a bombshell not even royal insiders saw coming. After all, this is what Harry said just last year.
I can't see a world in which I would be bringing my wife and children back to the UK at this point.
According to the Daily Telegraph, which broke the story, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will keep their home in Montecito but make the UK their primary base, with 7-year-old Archie and 5-year-old Lilibet enrolled in British schools starting in September. The source close to the couple telling NBC News they're moving back to the UK for an extended period of time. Last night, Harry was all smiles at a veterans event in Washington. The source familiar with the couple's plans tells NBC News Harry and Meghan will not reprise their roles as working royals, and that Charles found out about their planned return just last Sunday. The family's security arrangements, always a sticking point for Harry, are still unclear.
What triggered this?
Harry, we know, didn't quite gel with the showbiz life, shall we call it, in Hollywood. I think that's much more Meghan's sort of interests and repertoire.
During their California stint, Meghan and Harry worked on multiple projects, including a podcast and a business called As Ever, which the Telegraph reports Meghan will be running from the UK. As for their high-profile Netflix deal, that ended earlier this year. Back in 2020, their departure from the UK was coined Mexit by the press. They left, in part, they said, because of the unbearable treatment by the British tabloids. There were accusations of prejudice directed at the royal family, which pushed back on all of it.
Can you just let me know, is the royal family a racist family, sir?
No, we're very much not a racist family.
And that tell-all memoir from Harry, Spare, fraying tensions even further. Last month, Harry was joined by Meghan and their children for a visit with the King and Queen Camilla. It was the first time Charles, who is still receiving cancer treatment, had seen his grandchildren in 4 years.
And that same source telling NBC News the King welcomes the opportunity to spend more time with the Sussex family in a private capacity. Guys, back to you.
Danielle Hamamdjian at Buckingham Palace. Lots more to discuss about this move, its timing, what it means to the royal family. I know you've got questions. Don't worry. We've got NBC News royal commentator Daisy McAndrews. She's got answers. Daisy, good morning to you. I mean, we talked about this. An utter bombshell seemed to come out of nowhere. What have you learned about what may have prompted this?
I think there are multiple elements of the reasoning behind this decision, but you're absolutely right. This has come out of the blue for many Brits. One of the most obvious reasons is the children. They're now 7 and 5. That is school-going age here in the UK. Lilibet, being 5, would be starting at the bottom of a school, and we know they've already been enrolled in a school, not here in London, but somewhere in the countryside. Of course, Charles's ongoing health. He's continuing to have treatment for cancer. That will be one element, we assume, of why Harry wants to bring his family, and particularly those grandchildren, back to the UK. Many people saying, does this mean that Charles is sicker than we believe? No, I mean, personally, I've got no idea, but it certainly shows that Harry is serious about wanting to spend more time with his family. And then, of course, there are the critics saying quite unkind or maybe unfair things, that life didn't work out in the United States in the way that Harry and Meghan had hoped for. Perhaps they weren't getting the deals. Some of those deals we're hearing about have been cancelled. And some people are even suggesting there's a tax implication in the timing of all this, that 6 years is a significant amount of time to be out of the country to sort of play the game. I think that last one is stretching feasibility, but you can tell there are lots and lots of different theories.
So, Daisy, those are some theories about why they may be returning. Let's talk about one of the major reasons they said they left. The tabloids there over the pond. Yeah. We know about that strained relationship between the couple and the tabloids. Any reason to think that's going to change at all? And what are they saying this morning? What are the headlines?
There's an ultimate irony in the relationship between Harry and Meghan, and particularly Harry, actually, and the press and the tabloid press. Because, of course, we know Harry's publicly said he would like it to be his life's achievement to bury the tabloid press here in the UK. And yet, Harry and Meghan are the goose that lays the golden egg as far as the tabloids are concerned here. I promise you, you will have been hearing champagne corks popping at Fleet Street, where those tabloids are based here in London, because Harry and Meghan, create so much money. It's estimated about every year they put about £70 million into the coffers of social media and tabloid press because they are such clickbait. They get all the advertising revenue for the tabloids. So there is an irony there. And then, of course, there's the public. Harry and Meghan are deeply unpopular with the British public. Harry has managed to tick it up a few points in the last year, so maybe that was a reason why he thought he could build on that with the Invictus Games coming up.
Well, we'll see if you can go home again. Daisy, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
All right, still ahead here. A new twist in the investigation surrounding Hayden Panettiere's sudden death. Why federal drug agents are now joining that search for answers.
All right, also coming up, preparations are ramping up for Artemis 3, a critical step in the quest to put humans back on the moon. We're going to hear from the record-setting NASA astronaut counting down to his next big moment in space. That's right after this. We're back now at 7:41 with an in-depth look at the next big step in returning humans to the moon.
Artemis 3, expected to launch next year, will carry a crew of 4 into space for critical tests in that journey.
NBC's Ryan Nobles had the chance to talk to one of those crew members recently. Ryan, good morning.
Hey guys, good morning. Frank Rubio is already a star among NASA's astronaut corps after he set a record for the longest single spaceflight, 371 days, so just over a year. Now, this next mission will be considerably shorter, but we can't overstate both the complexity and importance, as NASA has its sights set on getting humans back to the moon and maybe one day Mars and beyond.
Mission Specialist, Colonel Frank Rubio.
Since officially joining Artemis 3, NASA astronaut Frank Rubio and his fellow crew members have been thrust into high gear as they prepare for a critical mission, meeting up and docking with commercially built lunar landing systems.
Landing humans on the moon is still incredibly difficult. Each time we do one of these missions, we test another component of the overall concept.
During their 2-week mission, the Artemis 3 crew will soar in an Orion capsule, first to an altitude of about 900 miles above Earth's surface, before dropping to half that distance for the first test, and completing the second one around the same orbit level as the International Space Station.
How much work goes into that preparation to make sure you get it right when you're up there?
Thousands of people working, I mean, thousands of hours doing all those calculations. Honestly, it's not just us. Our main role is to be there, monitor, and if things go wrong, to be able to adapt and help still make the mission a success.
SpaceX and Blue Origin are the companies building the lunar landing systems. And while both have experienced setbacks this year, NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman says he's been in touch with their teams and does not expect to change the Artemis 3 timeline.
I'm extremely confident that we are going to be able to launch Artemis 3 next year.
With plans to return humans to the moon as early as 2028, NASA needs this next test to go well as it faces a new space race, this time with China, also aiming to land its astronauts on the lunar surface by 2030. Even for Rubio, who once spent more than a year in space, going into orbit remains a thrill.
It's always something that we dream of as kids, is to get on a rocket and go to space. And so to be able to do that as part of my job is fantastic.
He's joining Commander Randy Bresnik, pilot Luca Parmitano of Italy, and fellow mission specialist Andre Douglas, a backup for the last Artemis mission that took its crew around the moon.
We just went sci-fi.
And deeper into space than any other humans. Rubio, who has Salvadorian roots, says he hopes they can inspire a new generation.
What is your message to young Latinos that see you and see themselves in you?
I hope that they can see in me an example of the fact that with hard work, dedication, and all the people around, it has been an incredible honor to represent all of that.
It was so inspiring to talk to Frank. Another reason that NASA needs this to go well, the space agency wants humans back on the moon, not just to plant another American flag, but this time to establish a permanent presence. That massive lunar base would be both solar and nuclear powered and set up on the moon's south pole, where scientists believe there could be water ice, which they could then potentially use to create fuel, using the moon as a springboard to go even deeper into space. Really fascinating stuff, guys.
Sci-fi. Wow. Sci-fi. All right. Ryan Nobles. Ryan, thank you.
Al, that's a little birthday gift for you.
That's right. Love it. The big gift would be just to get up there. I would love that.
I know. Woo. You should be the fourth astronaut, or the fifth.
The fifth. That's right. The fifth Beatle. That's right.
Yeah.
That would be great. Guys, thanks so much. Hey, if you think it's been rainy this year, you are absolutely correct. Corridor of extreme rainfall from Iowa to West Virginia, where we have seen rainfall amounts from Champaign, Muncie, Columbus to Charleston, anywhere from 200 to almost 500% of normal, 3 to 7 times more than the average. Now, why so rainy? Well, we've had this persistent heat dome moving Gulf moisture into the Midwest. Plus, as the Gulf gets warmer, the climate change, that Gulf water is anywhere from 2 to 5 degrees above average. That moisture gets into the atmosphere, and it is bringing that warmth, that Gulf warmth, 100 times more likely due to human-caused climate change, and that's why it has been so rainy this summer for such a wide swath across the country. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods. And that's your latest weather.
All right, Pop Star, it's coming up, and I see JBH.
Hi, guys. Okay, ahead on the boost. Get your dancing shoes ready for a video that's going viral we just found right after this.
All right, 7:51, perfect time to boost.
Hey, y'all, let's boost it. This one may just make you want to get up and dance. Take a look at this video of 2 Baltimore residents drawing a colorful chalk dance floor on the sidewalk. Next to their artwork, they wrote, "Bust a Move." And while they didn't expect anyone to actually participate, their video doorbell captured what happened next. I mean, don't you love that, like, all we need is, like, one little reminder of joy, and then here we go. Okay, so we were inspired. Of course, we had to give it a try. Take a look right now at our plaza.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We put that little dance floor up. That's the Cabbage Patch. I don't know. These people really know how to dance, too. They're getting ready for Ray, so they're like, why not get loose?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We need to get Chanel up there. She's our best.
I know, for sure.
Yeah. That's
or we
cute.
can all play Twister on that thing, it looks like.
Twister is hard on the lower back at this age. I want to warn you. I played it this summer.
It's a young
There's the running man. We saw the running man.
Like I said, I can get down. I just can't get back up.
It's 8 o'clock on Today. Coming up, summer scorcher. Extreme heat and storms gripping much of the country.
Yes, it is very hot.
Schools working to keep kids safe as they head back to the classroom. Al's got everything you need to know. Then, new details. Federal drug agents now involved in the ongoing investigation into the death of Hayden Panettiere, as police make a visit to the family home of her former boyfriend, and fellow stars speak out about the pressures of growing up in the spotlight. The latest just ahead. And opening up, Sandra Bullock breaking her silence about the loss of her longtime partner and his private battle with ALS.
Where he was in his journey, both physically and mentally, I started grieving Brian 4 years before he passed.
What she's now sharing. All that, plus catching some Ray. The four-time Grammy nominee stopping by our plaza for a special concert you do not want to miss. Today, Thursday, August 20th, 2026.
To see Ray! Good morning to my dad and my brother. Hi, Nick and Matthew.
Good morning, Betty. Today's my 15th birthday. We're ready for Ray!
All right, welcome back to Today. And you have picked a perfect Thursday to join us. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. No, we know it's Thursday still. Special concert, Thursday concert, but as you said earlier, that's true, Friday vibes.
It is. It's Giving Friday. Also, it's Al's birthday, so we thought, let's get him a concert. What do you get for the guy who has everything?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll get outside and hang out with the four-time Grammy nominee. But before the music, we do want to start this hour with your news at 8. And we're going to begin with that extreme summer weather across much of the country. More than 83 million people from the west to the south, all of them under heat alerts this morning with another day of record-setting temperatures on the way. Meanwhile, millions up and down the eastern seaboard set for heavy rain, damaging winds. The birthday boy watching all of it. Back now with the very latest. Al, good morning to you once again.
Hey, guys, good morning. And what we are looking at is, again, all that heat stretching from the southeast, Gulf Coast into the southwest, west coast, even up into the western plains. 83 million people. Refreshing, cooler weather banked up around the Great Lakes in northern New England, but very hot and humid. Look at these air temperatures. Dallas, your air temperature is 106. Heat index only a couple degrees warmer. But look at New Orleans. It's going to feel like 107. Same in Apalachicola, 109 in Miami, Conway, 109. And then going into early next week, we're talking about more of the same. Triple-digit air temperatures for San Angelo, Oklahoma City, Corpus Christi. But then factor in those heat indexes. It's going to feel brutal right into Monday. And then we've got severe weather to talk about. Heavy thunderstorms now firing up throughout much of Ohio, down into Kentucky, where we have flash flood watches and warnings. We've also got a risk of severe weather from Minneapolis to Hayes, also the northeast, mid-Atlantic states as well. 28 million people at risk. Can't rule out a tornado or two from central New Jersey all the way down to Raleigh. And we're talking about rainfall rates 1 to 3 inches per hour, locally 5 inches possible, and that, guys, going to lead to a lot of potential flooding up and down the East Coast and a lot of airport delays.
Oh, boy. All right. Thanks, bud.
All right, Al, thank you. Now to the latest on the death of actress Hayden Panettiere. Federal agents are now involved in the ongoing investigation. Fellow stars are honoring her memory and speaking about the pressures of growing up in the spotlight. NBC's Kaylee Hartung is here with more on all of this. Kaylee, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. We watched Hayden Panettiere grow up on our screens. Now her death is prompting fellow actors to discuss the intense pressure young stars face in Hollywood and the impact it can have, while authorities try to understand what happened in her final moments.
This morning, Hayden Panettiere's death now under new scrutiny.
The Drug Enforcement Agency is working with local authorities on the investigation, according to a source familiar with the probe. The news comes after Panettiere's mother, Leslie Vogel, told NBC News a narcotics investigator is involved, adding, "It leads me to believe they have questions." On Wednesday, police say they performed an unrelated welfare check at the family home of Panettiere's ex-boyfriend Brian Hickerson, who was with the actress when 911 was called, and paramedics found her unresponsive.
CPR is in progress.
According to the coroner's report, her cause of death has not been determined yet.
It's not the problem.
Panettiere spent nearly her entire life in the spotlight, recounting in her memoir released earlier this year.
From a very young age, I lost the chance to have a normal childhood, friends, relationships, and my privacy.
It's something Jack Coleman, who played her TV dad in Heroes, addressed in a tribute, writing, "She was hunted. Everywhere she went, there were photographers. No one, especially a teenager, should be targeted that way." Hollywood has mourned the loss of many young stars through the years, who often battled with mental health and addiction before their untimely deaths. Now others are speaking out about the challenges of early fame.
I want you to marry me.
Including Panettiere's Nashville co-star, Jonathan Jackson, posting overnight about the bond they shared both growing up in the industry, with a silent knowing of how intense the struggles can be. While Hillary Duff writing, "We were part of such a small sliver of people who actually understood the strange lot in life we were navigating. So young, with no real idea how to make sense of any of it." Last year, Miley Cyrus telling the New York Times she and fellow child actor Ariana Grande have also spoken about the price of fame.
Ariana says that there should be, the therapy for child actors, which I totally agree.
Hayden Panettiere's mother tells NBC News her body has been returned to their family, and now they're working to make plans for a funeral service, guys.
So sad. All right. Kaylee, thank you.
Well, now we turn to just a wild police chase in Los Angeles involving an off-road motorcycle. We're going to pick up the action here at a gas station. The rider there tried to refuel, but he took off before finishing, leaving part of the pump hose attached to the bike there. So the chase goes on for nearly an hour as the suspect sped down streets, went through some parks, eventually jumps off the bike, runs through several backyards, and there you see him. Yep, that was his plan. Jeez. He climbed into a blue recycling bin to hide. Didn't work. Officers found him, and they took him into custody. Yeah.
He did a little dance there as he was backing up.
Yeah,
I would say I'll have what he's having, but I don't think it worked out all that great.
That was not a well-conceived escape plan.
No, it was not. All right, here's one for you, Craig. Well, you might call it a calamari calamity. Here's what happened when a tractor-trailer hauling thousands of pounds of squid, oh my, that doesn't smell good, accidentally spilled its cargo all over the roadway, too. Happened earlier this week in Rhode Island. Needless to say, neighbors in the area were not thrilled with the smelly squid spill. A local fisherman saying it definitely had a, quote, distinctive odor to it. Oh, he's a poet. The street was closed for about 7 hours while the crew scooped up the mess.
And by the way, I mean, with that much squid on the road, I'm sure it smelled bad for days.
Days, and slippery, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right.
Carson topped that.
Well, I'm the guy that drives by that and goes, God, calamari could be good tonight. We should order a little calamari. I'm that idiot.
If you fry it, who would even know?
All right, guys, coming up, we got news for Outer Banks fans. We had two of their big stars on the show last couple of days. Disappointed that the hit show's now in its final season. As they say, not so fast. We're going to explain.
Okay, but first, Oscar winner Sandra Bullock opening up for the first time about the loss of her longtime partner to ALS, how she's honoring his life now, and the powerful message she has on the power and challenges of caregiving. Right after this.
We are back. It is 8:14. We're back with Oscar winner Sandra Bullock. She is back in the spotlight this week.
Yeah, the Oscar winner is returning to the big screen in a long-awaited sequel, Practical Magic 2.
And in the build-up to its release, she's been doing more press and opening up about something very personal, the difficult loss of her partner of 8 years, Brian Randall. NBC's Emily Aketa is here with some of these new comments from Sandra. Good morning.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning to you. This was a really moving conversation. Sandra Bullock has faced serious illnesses in her family before, including her mom's cancer. But now in rare remarks about her private life, she's describing how her partner's ALS diagnosis was different, calling it traumatic and sharing how her family got through.
This morning, Oscar winner Sandra Bullock opening up for the first time about the loss of her longtime partner Brian Randall and his private battle with ALS.
He asked me not to share, and I know why he asked me not, and it isolated me in the process.
In a new episode of the podcast Smartless, Bullock explained how the secrecy around the model-turned-photographer's disease took a toll on her, shouldering Randall's difficult care inside their home while raising her 2 young children during the COVID pandemic.
When the physical illness was then coupled with the mental health aspect of things, and it's something that people don't talk about. And it doesn't happen to everybody, but it was a trifecta that was pretty dark.
Along with her sister, Bullock says she eventually confided in fellow actors Jennifer Aniston and Amanda Anka, the wife of Jason Bateman. The 3 seen in Bullock's recent Instagram posts showcasing behind the scenes of the podcast, friends, and family. ALS is a progressive nervous system disease that impacts the brain and spinal cord and has no cure. Lou Gehrig, Stephen Hawking, and more recently actor Eric Dane among the well-known people who have faced the devastating disease.
Where he was in his journey, both physically and mentally, I started grieving Brian 4 years before he passed. You know someone through their eyes, and there was something that had shifted.
Bullock and Randall's love story dates back to 2015 when he photographed her son's birthday party. The couple made their public debut later that fall, appearing on the red carpet for her film Our Brand is Crisis. He later snapped this image for People magazine's cover to celebrate Bullock's adoption of her daughter Lila.
And if anyone tries to hurt one of my new friends, I would take them out.
While the Miss Congeniality star often leads a private, personal life, Bullock gushed about her family to Hoda in 2018.
You're a forever parent the minute you accept the love of that child.
Several years later on Red Table Talk, she praised Randall as a great example for her kids.
I am someone who went through the divorce process.
Right.
I found the love of my life. We each shared 2 beautiful children, 3 children, his older daughter. It's the best thing ever.
Randall passed away in 2023 after a 3-year battle with ALS, according to a statement from his family, who acknowledged at the time Brian chose early to keep his journey with ALS private, and those of us who cared for him did our best to honor his request. Now, several years since Randall's passing, Bullock says she's in a good place.
I think I did the right thing with the kids. Yes, I did usher Brian out the way a human being deserves to be ushered out. And I didn't take care of myself then, but I so take care of myself now.
This was all part of a sweeping conversation. Bullock also talks about navigating guilt as a mom, how her kids managed Randall's final years, and her reunion with Nicole Kidman in Practical Magic 2. I think her character has always come through in interviews, but it was like this relentless devotion to her kids, to caretaking really, really stood out.
Well, you know, caregivers, it's so much about self-sacrifice.
Oh my gosh,
and of course, in just the caregiving, but even just the way that she honored his request.
Yes.
To not even, it's not,
Which
of
was
course,
very
to not talk
difficult.
about it publicly, but really to not even tell those closest to her other than her sister. That's like another burden that she carried and carried with such honor
Grace.
to him.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Emily, thank
absolutely.
you.
Thanks, Em.
By the way, Sandra and Nicole will be sitting down with Hoda ahead of Practical Magic 2. It's released on September 10th, so that'll be a good conversation. We'll have it right here on Today.
Wow, so many people on
I
the
know.
We're like gremlins.
What's going on?
Whole family multiplied.
Well,
Yeah, don't pour water on my hair.
I almost was rude about it. I was like, Dylan, what are you doing?
I was waiting for you to say it.
He's just dumb. Welcome. All right. You're all here for
a
pop.
special announcement.
That's right. And we'll get to that, but let's kick off Pop Start with Billy Joel, the piano man, the subject of a new documentary called 1971, Billy Joel's Lost Interview. Now, this is a radio interview that he did when he was 22, right after the release of his first solo album, Cold Spring Harbor. The documentary uses the actual audio from that interview, but the catch is the video for the movie is a young Billy Joel generated by artificial intelligence. Here's a look.
My guests tonight are Billy Joel and his manager, Owen Meza. Eventually, you would like to get into the big places. Madison Square Garden or something like that.
No, I don't think I'd ever like to work Madison Square Garden. I mean, it sounds stupid for me to say that now, you know, I don't want to work there.
But that place is kind of a ripoff, really. Why? Because what it is in effect is just jamming as many people and making as much money as you can out of a one-night thing. Unless you're up front or up close, it's just wasted. But
I don't know, guys. A little mixed reaction.
Pump it or dump it?
Dump it. Well, let's compare. Let's put up a photo of Billy on the left, and then the AI, obviously, there on the right.
One has soul and light behind the eyes.
By the way,
One
Billy's
is
not
AI.
involved in this project. It is set to premiere in September at a film festival on Long Island. So
That is horrible.
Well,
At least he's not involved in it. At least he's not involved in it.
It's also weird that he's not involved in it, and they still can take him.
But how does Al Roker really feel about it? What I'm wondering.
He looks like a bad Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, from what I know, the whole history behind this documentary. The guy who directed it is the son of a former producer. There's a whole story behind it.
Is he going to be so
Safe
mad
to
at us
say,
now?
no, it doesn't matter. Billy, not necessarily on board. When you go to watch this, the first screen that comes up says like Billy Joel has nothing to do with what you're about to see. Wow. But we're reporting that it's out there, and if you're a fan and want to check it out, it's at the film festival.
The interview is still. The content
Plus,
is his voice.
You could listen to it and just keep your eyes closed.
That's true too. Now to Outer Banks, the 5th and final season of the hit Netflix series is out today. If you're bummed because it's coming to an end, we do have some good news to report. A prequel is now officially in the works. The showrunners confirming to Deadline that they're currently working on a script for it. The series tentatively named Kildare will tell the story of what happened 20 years before the teens' treasure hunting journey began, and they said that some recognizable names might be returned.
Remember when we used to have new ideas?
Well, this is a new idea, but it's just going to be before.
It's a pre-new idea.
They did this with the whole Star Wars.
Yeah, we know how that turned out.
Yeah, right.
You know, the kids are such fans, like my kids, for example.
Too.
So if you build it, they will come.
Yeah,
just give them anything.
Not always.
Yeah. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Moving on to Line of Fire. We've got an exclusive trailer debut for the new NBC drama starring Peter Krause and Hope Davis. The series follows a family.
We like this.
Jenna, help me out with this.
We like
whose
this
members of the family serve different branches of protective services. Take a look.
It's going to be great.
Your whole family works in the field. 2 Secret Service agents, a U.S. Marshal, a Fed, and now a DOJ analyst. What your dinner table conversations must be like.
I'm needed back at the office. We'd have to have dinner together to know.
How do I get Mom to take my job seriously?
How do I get Dad to trust me with mine?
This isn't a party you crashed. You're protecting the president's daughter. I go where she goes. In board shorts? If we lose focus.
Work with him.
When I see Peter Krause like on screen, I just watch it.
So
He's one of those
good.
actors. Like, oh, I'm gonna watch this. Has to be good.
Yeah.
That turns into a big murder mystery. You are one of the EPs of the show, Jenna.
Yes.
Okay, thank God you got out of the book business.
No,
This is an addition to.
This is an addition. I'm not out of the book business, but you guys, it's so good.
Yeah.
One of my old Secret Service men is actually a consultant on the show.
Bet he's
as
got
a
some
writer.
stories.
He's got 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited. The actors are so good. I think this
Especially
is like
that Peter Krause.
Krause. He's so good, and it's a family show too. It has this sort of like This Is Us meets Law and Order. I think you guys will love it.
Everybody lift their fingers.
And guess what?
For NBC.
We'll be right next to each other. I come on after The Voice.
Oh, look at that.
that's awesome.
Good.
Prime
Maybe
Time.
it's
It's a family affair.
Maybe I'll come as a
It's
cameo.
called Line of Fire. Premieres September 21st, of course, here on NBC, and streaming the very next day
How do
on
they work the spinning wheel?
Peacock. Finally, guys, Sebastian Maniscalco, I don't know if you've ever struggled with coming up for a great birthday message for a friend. Well, now the stand-up comedian is going to do it for you. He's teamed up with American Greetings to make personalized birthday cards. And what better way to kick it off than, Uncle Al, it's your birthday, and here's your personalized message.
Oh, this is great.
Hey, Al. Hope you're having a wonderful birthday. But let's be real. The way people celebrate birthdays today is too much. Back then, the party music was whatever you could find on the radio. Now you gotta hire some big shot DJ and do the latest viral dance for all your social media apps. Now let's get this party started.
Let's go. E-cards.
That's amazing.
Drinks. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to little London. My daughter's 12 today. Lola, happy birthday. Love you.
Oh, love it.
Oh,
Special
delicious.
Thursday morning concert to celebrate London Daly and Al Roker. Yes. 4-time Grammy nominee Ray. Oh, she's here. But first, your local news.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.